Another important historical event that is in an important work of art. This is Liberty Leading the People by Eugene Delacroix, and it's one of the most famous political paintings in all of European art, but it oftentimes has misconceptions applied to it. Delacroix painted it in 1830, and it wasn't a painting that represents the French Revolution. Instead, it's about the July Revolution in 1830, and that revolution was about 3 days in Paris, where Parisians rose up against the ultra-conservative Charles X. Now, this painting is a connection to that revolt, that unrest. And it matters because the painting is not about, fantasy or mythology. Its core is in a very specific political moment, even though it really grew into a broader symbol of revolt and liberty. What makes this painting so powerful is, of course, the central figure of Liberty herself. And she's not shown as some kind of, distant goddess, just kind of up on high. She's not floating above the events, just kind of taking it in. Delacroix paints her as something more complicated. She's kind of this part allegorical figure. She's part woman of the people. And she's a classical goddess, and she's this popular woman that's really urging the crowd to move forward over the barricade. And that mix is exactly what really gives her image its force behind it. She carries the tricolor flag. She steps across the fallen, and she pulls this entire scene upward with her. Now, around her are figures from the different social classes, and that helps to turn this painting into this vision of like a collective uprising instead of, one that's just one person's act of heroism. I've been fortunate enough to see this painting in person on a couple of occasions when I've taken students overseas to Europe, and we've been to the Louvre. And this painting is so powerful because Delacroix was working in the spirit of Romanticism, in the Romanticism movement. And you can really feel the painting's energy when you're up close and personal. This is not some kind of balanced or cool feeling kind of neoclassical scene. Instead, it's emotional, it's unstable, it's really just alive with movement within it. And the painting mixes, allegory, the story, with contemporary realism. And that's really one of its great achievements. Because Delacroix gives you, real bodies and real dirt and real death, especially in the foreground. And that at that same time, he really gives you this symbolic image that's large enough to stand for the entire political event. And the result is it's a painting that just feels kind of immediate and strong, but also it has this mythical quality to it as well. What gives Liberty Leading the People its staying power, what makes it last, is that it became bigger than the event that actually inspired it. Because it started out as this response to the July Revolution, but over time it became one of the most recognizable images of revolution anywhere. It became it is a symbol that represents justified revolt. And that's why it still matters, because Delacroix turned this Paris uprising, this Paris revolt, into this it's an enduring image of struggle and sacrifice, but also political aspiration. It's why the painting feels so powerful, because it doesn't just show people that are just angry or just in revolt. It shows that revolt is an idea powerful enough to become this long-lasting national image. It's such a strong and striking painting that it means a great deal to me, even as an American. If you have some thoughts or some comments that you'd like to leave about Delacroix's masterpiece, please leave them in the comments.